everybody, this is Teri from Sweet Pea Papers, the Sweet Pea Papers Facebook group, the Junk Journal Tutorials and More Facebook group, the Junk Journal and Papercrafts Facebook group. I'd like to welcome you to the new collaboration that I'm doing with Mandy at Sunflowers and Doors and my Sweet Pea Papers Facebook group only, not the other two. However, you can have some fun, in all three groups. Now, I'm going to talk about that in just a second. The hashtag is Stitch in Time, and it's going to run from actually August 31st, which is today. And it's going to be a challenge collaboration, as in we're going to have 3 challenges, one each, the first 3 weeks of September, like I said, starting today, August 31st. And we're going to have a giveaway with the chance to win a kit from Sunflowers and Doors. Plus, there's going to be freebies at both of our Facebook groups. Now, let me look at my notes. The freebies will be available so everyone can join in. But if you'd like to use the full kit, you can purchase it at the Sunflowers and Doors Etsy shop. And to celebrate the launch, you can have 25% off the whole month. No code needed. And unfortunately, Mandy's still unable to sell to the EU or Northern Ireland. However, the free challenge papers will allow you to participate without purchasing the kit. Now, each week in September, we're going to have the challenges, like I said, 3 in total. And the first one is starts tomorrow on the 1st of September through the 7th. The inspiration video is today, August 31st. The week 2 is going to be the 8th through the 14th. The inspiration video will be on the 7th. Week 3 will be the 15th through the 21st, with the inspiration video on the 14th. Week 4 is the catch-up week. There's no video, but you can keep working on your projects and keep posting them and get entered into the drawing, which we're going to talk about that in just a second as well. That's the 22nd through the 30th. And then we have the drawing on the 31st from all the entries into the drawing. Well, that makes sense. And there's going to be 3 winners in each Facebook group, so that's 6 winners total, and you'll win a free junk journal kit from Sunflowers and Doors. Now, from Mandy, let me look here. Oh, how to win. To participate, you post in one of the 2 groups or both. I suggest both. Use the hashtag Stitch in Time, and you'll be entered to win a free kit from Mandy's Etsy shop. Now, if you're using only the free challenge papers, your post counts as 1 entry. If you're using the kit with or without the freebies, your post counts as 2 entries. Be sure to mention in your post text that you use the kit to qualify for the extra entry. And like I said, remember to use the Stitch in Time hashtag, or your entry won't count. And we can't wait to see what you create. These are this is a beautiful kit with some really nice freebies. You're going to get 3 each week from both of us, so that's going to be 6 pages. Oh no, 2 each week, I'm sorry, from each of us over the 3-week period. So that means you're going to have 12 more free pages. The kit is 28 pages. Let's see. Okay, so this is week 1, and the challenge is to create a tag or journal card that looks like an old button card. And an old button card, they used to, when they sold buttons in the store, they had them on a card. Okay, and it was a card, not a tag, but you can create either one that had the buttons sewn on it instead of like a bag of buttons. Okay, so you would buy them 6 or 8 at a time. Sometimes if they were the plain buttons that matched, like a whole set of white buttons, there would be more, and it would be a longer card. Now, that's what we're going to do now. I'm going to talk about the freebie and the kit papers real quick before we get going here. I've got things to show you. Okay, there's also calendars or a calendar available for the Stitch in Time, the time part. They're blank, and I believe you can get them at the Sunflowers and Doors Etsy shop. I don't believe they're part of the freebies. If they are, I will let you guys know. Now, Mandy's from the UK, so you need to turn off your fit to page and your borderless to get the correct size. This is not the correct size because I printed it with the fit to page, but all it did was cut off a little bit of the border image or the image edges, and I was okay with that on the calendar because it made the squares bigger. So you might want to think about that. If you're in the US, you might want to print it out. Go ahead and print it out 8.5 by 11. However, it's a PDF, and you want to make sure that you have it set to horizontal. If you have it set to vertical, then, or if you don't have it set to horizontal, then it's going to come out this way, which is smaller. That may be fine. We're going to use this one in the journal that I'm going to make, or the folio. I haven't decided which. And so I went ahead and printed on the back. So we'll talk about the backing papers in just a minute. So that's the calendar. It's the same with the pages. Each page actually with the freebies is a JPEG. But these are the part of the kit, not the freebies. And I accidentally printed them in the wrong direction too. But what I got was a nice set of smaller spools. Okay, I call them spools, but they're not that. They're called something else, wraps or something. Winders. Winders, because you wind your. I use them for my embossing. What am I talking about? I'm not talking about anything. My embroidery floss. What is up with me? So anyway, I'm going to cut these out and use them in the folio as just a smaller graphic. Now, week 1 challenge. Let's do this first. This is the backing paper. I got it from Mandy. It just in with the freebies. So I'm thinking this is a freebie background that you're going to get, background collage. If you don't get it with your freebies, then it's in week 3. Okay, I'm not sure. I forgot to ask her. Then I packed my papers with this so that you could write on it, and this so that you can write on it. Now I like this a lot better. I've got half with this and half with this, and I'm not going to reprint the 14 pages and put this background on, even though I'm very, very tempted to. So that's that. I'm going to put these with the these go with the kit. There's also in the kit, I just want to talk about this real quick. Mandy's going to do a flip through, but there's these really cool suggestions for you to use your ephemera. Here's one that gives you all the things that you need to make a page border, side tuck, whatever. Last month I used mine as a side tuck. There's also these really cool, where is it? I have it paper clipped together, I promise you I do. Anyway, there's a really cool dresser that goes with the kit, and you cut it out the This is a belly band, a double belly band that you can make, and then put this on the top of this. There's, like I said, there's also a dresser, and I did paper clip it together. I promise you I did. It must be in with the papers somewhere. There's 28 pages, and so part of that is a ton of ephemera. So watch her flip through at youtube.com/@ SunflowersAndDors, and it came out the week before this, sometime between the 23rd and the 30th. The preview video will be out. Now, these are our papers for week 1. As you know, I'm going to have to pause, or I'll stop the video and then go to part 2. So these are our papers to make our button card. You've got lots of buttons that you can attach to. I'm going to use chipboard, but I got so many real buttons. I may just use those. It's a lot easier than cutting out all these circles, even on my scan and cut, because I have to draw a circle around each one of these, because this is a tip for you with the scan and cut. Even these that look like they're good against the background, they're tan, they have little lighter sections along the edge, so you're going to have to draw around them. And this one you might get away with not drawing around, but yeah, so I've been drawing around just about everything to cut it out, just in case. I haven't done these yet. And then you've got this paper, which has 2 tags, or a front and a back of a tag, in case you want to make a tag instead of a card with your buttons on it. And here's another tag with some different fussy cuts than each other. Oh, you'll have 4 bows, so that's good, and you'll have 4 of the big giant buttons, so that's good too. And of course you can use your own ephemera, lace and all that you've got hanging out. I'm gonna go through my lace and do that. And of course this video is going to be a little bit longer because of all the explanation and going through the other papers. Here's a bunch more buttons for you to cut out. They're not, I wonder if this one is 5/8. No, it's 1/2 inch. So you're not going to be able to use your hole punch on this unless you want to have a little bit of white around it. This one is 1 1/8. Okay, so that's 9/8. This one's 1 1/2, so you might have a hole punch for that. And this one's a little bit more than 1 3/4. You could get away with 1 3/4 on these. And I think there's one more set, but I think these are these are the same size as these. Okay, so I'm going to cut everything out. I'm going to trace it and cut everything out. I traced out all the ephemera for the kit, and then I realized I needed to do this video before the first video of my project, which will come tomorrow. Okay, I may switch to Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, depending on how quickly I get done, instead of Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Okay, so I'm gonna stop here and get all this stuff done, and then when we come back we'll make our button cards or tags or both. Okay, all right, I'll see you in just a second. Okay, I am back. I have been cutting and recutting. I had a problem with my scanning cut. It decided to take this, and I forgot to draw the line right here where it's white. So you'll notice the similarity between my vase of flowers and the bust, or the dummy, or the sewing, whatever, with the flowers, and that's because when it ate all this up, I almost threw it away, and then I realized I could cut it off and then turn it around, and it made a vase of flowers. So we're going to take a look at that maybe. I've got 3 different ideas kind of laid out. I've got buttons, I have eyelets, I have bulb pins, and I have more lace over here that you can't see. So what I'd like to do first is turn the timer on. We could do, let's see, set this one and this one to the side. I already had to get rid of one piece of cream colored paper that I smeared around in the brown. Alright, so let's take this first of all. And let's glue this together. Now, like I said, I have some duplicates. This is the card that has the piece drawn on it. And then this is the other piece, one of the circles with the scalloped edges. And I thought I would put them together. A genius move, I know. Now, I had to trace around all these with a pencil. And it does line up. And then I thought what I would do is glue the 2 sides together, and then that would leave us space to make something and tuck it in on this one side, and then we'd have the other side, and then we could also decorate this side with a few buttons. Now, I'm not sewing buttons. My hands are all swollen already, so and I can't really hold a needle anyway. So let's go ahead and glue this on. We're going to glue this to this. It was an adventure to cut these out. I thought, all right, dark colors, my scanning cut will cut that right out. No. There's too much white touching the edge. Make sure your cards are right side up. This could be inked a little bit more. Let's see if I can. That's better. I'm using Gathered Twigs, which is one shade darker than Vintage Photo. So now we've got a belly band. We could have glued it across the bottom and made a pocket. We can still do that, or we can just put something not all the way in. Doesn't have to go through and be the belly band. So now let's take a look at this side. And I was thinking that even though the image is there, now button cards usually have buttons like this or buttons down the middle. I think the white ones. Now, I haven't checked any of this to make sure any buttons match, but I think I have 4 of these. There's another one. I think. Nope, that one's bigger. We're going to run into that. So these buttons are not going to match that we put on here. Let's leave that for now because I'm not sure. I'm not sure about, I cut out these big buttons. I'm not really sure where they would go. Maybe one on here. I don't know. That wasn't really the plan. I had, let's see, here's one decent sized one. Oops, come here. If I was going to have the kind of that material, oh, there's 3. There's 3 different sizes. It might look good somewhere. Put these together right there. And I'm not that good with this kind of stuff, just as if you couldn't tell by now. You know what we could do? I can't take it. I can still see some of the pencil on this side. And you can erase the pencil and it won't take the ink that you've inked on there off if you had to trace around them as well. Okay, so this is our slide side, we'll call it. So if we're going to decorate, we're going to want to decorate on here. I don't really see lace on this side. And you can't really put buttons here because then you can't slide it in. We could, make the decision that yes, it's going to be a pocket, and we could put some lace across the bottom. What do I got here? These are scraps. This might look nice at the top of one of them. These are all pretty. Oh, no, they're not. What about this piece? Put it across the bottom. Well, that would fit perfectly, and then put a button in between each of the scallops. Okay. I can't believe I'm actually using scraps. I can't believe I actually saved scraps. This is one of the favorite trims I've ever had. I have no idea where I got it, no idea how to get any more. Oh, that looks pretty on there. Okay. So that would take these are too big. I'm trying, oh, it's one size smaller. It's exactly the same, but it's one size smaller. Here's the other one. There's two that are the same. I think we have a winner. Okay. Let's glue this on. Now, Fabri-Tac will glue these on. I'm using the flat side of the button to put the glue on, even though this is the back side of the button, technically. It just doesn't look right that way, so we're going to use this side to glue on. And they'll slide around. You'll be able to move them for a while, but then they'll stick. Alright, so if we do that like that, then we're going to need, you just have to imagine that the card is already in there, because otherwise it looks off balance. But if there's a card in there, then it won't be off balance at all. You should see me tracing all these scallops. Oh my gosh. A couple of them, one of them I had to cut out. I had a feeling it was this one. And on this side, I think what we could do is we could take 4 of these little buttons and put them on the corners. I wonder if we have any more that are that's too small. There's 3. That's too big. There's 4. Look at that. So we'll do the 4 corners because I'm so imaginative. And again, why am I doing it that way? Oh, because they're not exactly the same if I turn them the other way. And if you wait just a second and let the glue set up a little bit, then it sticks even quicker. Now, if I put it to where the 2 corners are touching, then I can line them up easier. This one looks just a smidge bigger. I get the radio on really low and it's on 70s on 7 on Sirius XM. And this one is smaller. Oh, it just looks smaller. And they're playing Boogie Nights. Makes you kind of want to sing, but don't worry, I won't. Probably should have done this before I put all these buttons on here. I think it'll be fine. I swear they all look like they're a little bit different in size. This one looks smaller. Well, look at that. The two that look smaller, which they probably aren't, just because of the way they are here and here. Oh, that makes my little lined up heart happy. Now I'm thinking, I think we need to do something in the center and the top. We can also, let's leave this for right now and we'll let it dry, and then I'll think about that. Then, oh, this might be the one that we could, my tiny attacher died. Because you have to keep in mind, we're going to be putting something in and out right here. So you don't want to do anything too drastic. Or you won't be able to get your card in and out. It just needs something across the top. That's what we could have done. See, they're not dry yet, so I can take them right back off. Let's do this. Let's move a piece of that ribbon across here. And give it a little shiny. And it's just shimmery, that's all. As soon as I cut it, it dropped to the floor. Okay, and we'll do the same thing across the bottom on this side. This is not straight, so I'm going to let it stick out and I will trim it. On both sides. Now I don't want to get this, so I'm going to do it from this side and put the scissors underneath. And do that. And do that. Okay. It isn't very dark. Could have been a little darker. When the glue dries, it might be shinier. All right. And that gives us our 4 buttons. I know you want 1, 3, 5, whatever, but you're going to have an even number usually on a button card. I have seen button cards that had just like 3 big buttons. I don't know why you would want only 3 buttons, but I have seen them, the old ones. I have glue all over my fingers. I mean, all over my fingers. Okay, so that's what we're going to do for that one. Okay, and then we'll put our miscellaneous card or whatever in there. Now, I know we're going to be dumping these out and putting them back in. It's kind of interesting. Out. It's like an abalone looking. It's obviously plastic. All these are plastic. Well, it looks like there's one stray wooden one in there. Okay. All right. The other one I was thinking about doing is to do something similar as what we were originally going to do with this, but not. I want to glue this to this, leaving a little border. No, that's not what I wanted to do. I knew I was going to do this wrong. I want to make a belly band out of it, but I want to make a double belly band out of it. So I want to glue this to the top and the bottom, and then stick it on here and then cut it out, and then we'll glue the top and the bottom of the back. All right. And then we'll cut around it. that I'm thinking, if I cut this, I'm going to have to match it on the other side. I can flip it over. Don't really want to cut that much off. Okay, that looks better. Then we'll take this one and glue it top and bottom. On the back side. Where was the lace I had set aside for this? Oh, I think it was going to be the lace on that. A friend of mine sent this to me. It was very, very nice of her. This is the backing paper. I did print the front and the back of everything just in case. My bracelet getting in the way. Or bracelets, should we say. Only problem we have is, of course, these two may not be exactly the same. Yeah, because see, it's straight on this side, but it doesn't look straight on this side. I think this is maybe glued on crooked. Okay, then on this side, I'm going to put this lace up the middle. Don't you love these little bitty clips? Clothesline clips, clothespin clips. What are they called? Clothespins. I'm going to put this down the center. We're going to ink it. How many of you were going, she didn't ink it? Yeah, something about this card on the back is crooked, so it's just going to have to look bad on the back. It looks really nice on the front. And I think we're going to use our little basket of flowers on this too. Okay, so we're going to we can't glue anything that's going to glue this shut. Remember, we've got our pass-through here, and we have another one on the front. Doesn't mean we need to use both, but they're both there. But I want to do this lace on just the tan part. We're going to glue down 2 sides instead of one line of glue down the middle, because that would only attach these little bitty lines. That's pretty. We could maybe, oh, that one's chewed out. Didn't really want to use these buttons. I wanted to use this down here. Oh, it's bigger than I thought. I haven't inked it. It's kind of... So we can put a little bit of ink on there so it looks like we tried. What if we, I don't know though, that's going to be, if we did this and then trimmed that off. If we did it on this side and it would cover up that crooked part. If we put it all the way down. That look right though? No. How many times can I flip that back and forth? Didn't get any glue on there. In fact, it comes right to the edge. Wow. Probably shouldn't have put it all the way to the edge, but I did. Oh, I can't. Here I was being so smart. Goes to this edge. These three are all the same. These are dark. No, I'm going to go with real buttons. I like the defect on this. So I think maybe we'll do 3. And then I feel like this needs something here, but I'm not really sure what yet. Oh, we only have 7 minutes left. So we'll balance that out with something. Not exactly sure what. It's supposed to go on the line. That one goes on the line. See how I carefully place that down, lift my finger up, and the glue had it stuck to my finger. And then we'll put this one in the center of the, oh, for goodness sakes, in the circle that's where the open part of the lace is, right there. The lace is crooked. I like that. Like that little bit of brown right there. Need to line the buttonholes up. Either they're diagonal or they're straight. One of the two. Not both. Okay. So I'm going to leave that. We've got our double whammy here. I think maybe this one needs a lace pocket across the bottom. Let's see. Yeah, I think that would work for that. This is me leaving it. Because remember, we used up time in the beginning of this video with our showing you the paper that I had. I don't want to smear it too much because I want to leave it as a pocket. If I didn't have so much glue on my fingers, this would be much easier to do. I do want it to be tight though. So we'll do that. If we were going to glue something to this, we should have done it ahead of time, because now it's too thin. If we try to glue something to it, we're going to glue our little pocket shut. Okay, so this one, the button's awful close to the top. We'll take a look at it and see. This is what I thought about putting through the middle. I think that's what I'll do. So I'll glue those two together so that makes a card, and then I'll put it through on this side. No, I'm going to put it through on this side. This right here would be too much with this. That's just too much. So maybe we'll just use the belly band, whatever you want to call it, on that side. Okay, so we've got this one. We've got this one. You know what? Do we have another tiny button? It's brown or brownish. I'm going to take these three down here and just put them down here. I'm not going to glue them on right now, but I'm just going to show you what I'm doing. They're like big, medium, small. So I'm gonna get a different button than this one. This one's too thick, but I'm gonna put them right there. All right, and that'll balance it out a little bit, because I don't want just two. Look, here's one that matches this one with the brown. Perfect. Okay, that's our time. That's an hour or about. So I will leave you with that. I'll glue these on, and then I will glue this together and put it through the card, and then we'll have these two done. And remember, this side looks like this. This side looks like this. And it's a pocket. That's why we don't have anything at the top yet. Not really sure. I think I could probably still run some of this really clear little ribbon right across here anyway. So I'm going to take a look at that. And I'm sorry we ran out of time. I'm not really very quick getting things like this done anyway. So that's it for our button card or button tag, either one. This would be our card. This would be our tag. And I will see you next week for next week's challenge, which is... you thought I was going to say it, didn't you? Oh, you silly things, you. Okay, I will see you next week for next week's challenge. Then I'm also going to be back tomorrow with the first video in the journal or folio. I haven't even decided yet. that I'm going to make for the month. Okay? All right. Thanks again, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.